Good day, emerging mothers. I hope you all are doing well and that you are just managing with all of what it entails, which as mothers, we know that it can be a lot. But I hope you all are doing good. What I'd like to do is I'd like to jump on and talk just a little bit about making good social choices and helping our teens be able to do that. I did a clip on this probably about maybe about 2.5 or so months ago and wanted to revisit it just to make sure that we've captured all. And I see that my phone is going in and out just a little bit, but I'll just continue to go. And so hopefully you're able to grasp and master the information that I'm sharing. We know for a fact that our teens will be making life-altering decisions, of course, as they move forward. And I'm uncertain if all of our teens are given the tools that they need. They'll be facing decisions as it pertains to dating and sex. Of course, they'll be making decisions as it pertains to which college should they attend, which is the best for them. Also, their friends. They'll be making decisions as it pertains to their friends. And all of these decisions really can be life-altering. Also, their boundaries. They have boundaries. And so they, of course, they will attempt to push their boundaries. The level of respect that they show themselves, that they show other people. And there are all types of decisions around that. Also, their self-worth and how they see themselves, and also as it pertains to addictions as well. So all of these different issues, those and more, our teens are having to make decisions as it pertains to those. And what do we want them to do? We want them to make the best decision possible. So for a number of different reasons, we know for a fact that the decisions that they make now, they can be decisions that will affect them the rest of their lives. And if you're like me, you know individuals who've made amazing decisions which have set them up beautifully for their lives, and so that they can just really just wallow in all of the great decision making they've made in the past. And then we all know teens who have made decisions, whether they're teens right now, whether they were teens in their past. We know that they have made decisions that have been inevitable and have placed them really in a situation today that has been challenging, that has been unheard of. Some of the decisions that have been made when we were teens, it has hindered us from actually achieving our goal in life. And so we want the very best for our teens. So I know first and foremost that we as mothers, we will provide the guidance that they need. And, providing the guidance that they need, it's almost like walking on a tightrope. Making sure that we're given enough guidance, we're being their GPS compass, if you will, and with the right portion. Sometimes we have a tendency to give too much guidance. And when we give too much guidance, and when we're hovering around, and when we're micromanaging that relationship and our interactions with our teens, then of course just as well as I do that they have a tendency to begin taking some steps back because we're doing a lot. And so it's like, balancing the amount of guidance that we give them. As we're giving them guidance, and that's, that point number one, that tip number one, that gem number one, we want to make sure that we are listening to their expectations. There may be, an event coming up or a gathering coming up. And, I'm listening carefully to my daughters to just see, what are their expectations? What are they planning, to do at that gathering? How are they, looking at conducting themselves? And then when they're sharing, what they're doing, when they travel out and meet friends, I'm listening for, possibly if there are any potential risks that may be involved. I'm, from time to time, I may remind them, it's okay to remove themselves, from a situation or circumstance, because I know when we're with friends, there has a tendency to be, just a slight level of peer pressure. It may, when we think about peer pressure, it may not even be something that they're encouraging you to do, but it could be something them doing themselves. But yet, because you're near them, because you're around them, because you're in their company, it could mean something inevitable for you as well. So providing that balanced guidance, we know that that's important. Secondly, identifying the problem. And, I love to allow my daughters to spearhead that venture in identifying the problem, because, let's be honest, when we're listening to them, they really do know more sometimes than we give them credit for. And they're really able to really assess the situation and even provide the solution. So when we think about, our teens going off to college and them attending every single party that exists on campus, even when they have other responsibilities that need their attention, then of course they know that, there are consequences. Consequences being, ending up on probation or suspended or anything along those lines. Is that hard, mothers, to do whatever we can to help prevent that, even though they're pushing away our help and wanting to do things on their own and avoiding our phone calls and even calling us because they know what they think we may say? That's a challenge. But do we have to allow that sometimes? Absolutely, because it's those consequences and it's those hiccups that happen in the plan that, of course, provide and allow the biggest, the most impactful, the most effective life lessons. And so, do we sometimes have to allow that to happen? Yes. So, of course, number one, providing, or if you will, providing the guidance. Number two, identifying the problem. Number three, allowing them to explore the possible solutions. And you know what? How about they just go ahead and just write down as many as they can? Just write. Just be creative. Be innovative with just the ideas and the solutions that come to mind. And so, it's always good when they're able to share those options and those opportunities with us so that we can then explore in initially reserving our thoughts as it pertains to what it is that they're thinking that they may want to do when they're brainstorming possible solutions. And then, it's interesting. I can even listen to my daughters and some of the ideas they come up with, it sometimes floors me that they would think about, or the ideas that come to surface, that arise maybe from time to time, some situations or some solutions that may not have even crossed my mind, but because there's this bold and courageous bone in their body, and it could be something that could actually take them to the next level as it pertains to a goal that they're pursuing. It's just rewarding listening to these teens that we've raised. So what I've tried to do is take a back seat and allow them to just tap into their thought process, their creative juices in reference to resolving problems. We'd be surprised by what we'd hear or how quickly they will come up with resolutions to the problem at hand. Then, of course, after that, reviewing the pros and cons of each is critical. And as we're reviewing the pros and the cons, I encourage my daughters to even, consider and think about, how that may affect others. Under the umbrella of emotional intelligence, of course, there's different constructs, whether it's self-awareness, whether it's self-management, it could be social awareness, or it can be relationship management. And when our teens make a decision, coming up with a solution, and then they're leaning towards a decision, I have interacted with my daughters to just kind of look around that decision that they're making, just to, see how that would impact those around them. That's that construct, social awareness. And, seeing how, that situation or that solution may affect those around them, and if they move forward with that particular solution, so be it. But just to have an awareness, just to already have thought through, to have pondered, to have pictured, how that could affect others, so that, they're walking into that solution with eyes wide open, so that there are very little to no surprises as it pertains to, of course, themselves and then those around them. If you have a teen who has, made a decision, the decision may have been maybe the decision was a decision that is inevitable. I'll say that could have placed that teen in a situation that may have caused a challenge for not only him or herself, but for the whole family. If those decision-making skills and those problem-solving skills, these ones that I'm talking about right now, are made by a teen with a clear mind, then a lot of times it helps the teen to second guess that initial decision that are made. If we allow, if we initiate, if we encourage that teen to sprinkle just a little bit of emotional intelligence on that solution prior to actually making that decision. So let's even move past that and talk about, of course, them actually making that decision after they have created a plan around it, and then moving forward with confidence, and moving forward with assertion, and moving forward with the belief that they have already accomplished, they have already achieved, they have already soared towards that decision that have been made. And then thereafter, making an assessment. So if teens are taught this process, then I know that they can make better decisions. Let's start off with the first one. I know, mothers, that you will help to guide, and you will be that GPS compass. So providing that guidance that we need for our teen, and then allowing our teen to identify the problem. Thereafter, making sure that they are looking at all of the possible solutions. Thereafter, making sure that they have looked at all the ups and all the downs of those opportunities, of those options they've put down on paper. And I'm talking about actually writing some things down. Because I think that when we not only see it, but then we've, of course, confided in others that's hearing it, and then writing it down, of course, and internalizing it. Exactly which direction should I go? Then that's totally helpful. Allowing our teens to spearhead that decision, and then assessing it thereafter would be just the ideal situation. And allowing them to spearhead it. I'm mentioning that because, of course, will we always be around? I think that we will not. And so them taking these steps and them doing this is a win-win situation and a life lesson learned for sure. At Temple University, there were researchers who had gathered together, and they created this puzzle building test, or this quiz, if you will, involving ages 10 to 30-year-olds in this research, performing these puzzle building tests, if you will. And of course, we knew that the older generation, the 30, the 25, 22, the 30-year-olds would make better decisions. But let me tell you why. They make better decisions because not only are they more mature, but they have better impulse control. From time to time, when we have yet to have developed our thought process. You know, when we're younger, we're more on the fly. We're making quick judgment decisions. But when we're older, of course, we have better impulse control, number one. And then number two, when we make decisions, there's a stronger demand on our frontal lobe. And for us who are more seasoned, when I think about that age 10 to 30 range, you know, that frontal lobe really begins to develop stronger at the age of 22, moving beyond that. And so when we look at our teens, even our young adults, our adolescents, 10 to 21, that frontal lobe really has yet to fully develop. And so those are the teens we're talking about right there. And that's why they need us as a GPS compass, although we're working with them and we're spending time with them, because that has yet to develop, because it really has developed at the age of 22 and beyond. And some of the teens we have, my daughter's 13, some of yours are, 15 and 16, 17, 18. All of that is before the age of 22. And so they need our help. They need our guidance. So I know mothers, you, just as myself, we will be there for our teens, really beyond the age of 22, but most importantly, before the age of 22, because we know that there's still development that's needed. So listen, if you'd like to talk more about this, I will make myself available. DM me. We can set up some time. I can send you my Calendly, and we can make some arrangements to connect and get together to talk about, what you may be facing as it pertains to your teen. I'm Dr. Michelle Lloyd. I support mothers of girls and boys. I appreciate you. Please, please, please know that I'm here for you. Also, my next Emerging Mothers Masterclass will begin in the next 6 weeks. There will be all type of information that you'll want to hear. Enough for now. I will see you next Thursday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. It will be another topic, and if there's a topic you'd like to discuss or that you would like me to speak on, DM me regarding that as well, and I will make sure that I include that to my pile. Thank you so much. Love you all. Have a good day. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.